Hi, welcome to CPC Masterclass. Today we're going to be talking about costings, how to cost a vehicle on a journey. The information that we've got that we'll be putting up on the screen is a past OCR paper, and it is literally how to cost a vehicle from the information that we are given in the case study. Quite often it can seem quite daunting. You look through the case study, what information do we need, where's the information that we need? But if you think logically about it and take your time, it is not as daunting as it appears. Okay, so let's have a little look. We'll start with a question. So, case study question. OCF's delivery and collection route 11 operates every weekday as described in the case study. The company's logistics director proposes to use the newly acquired articulated combination on this route when it becomes available. Calculate the cost to OCF of operating route 11 for one day using the new articulated combination. Note, you must show all your workings, you must name each cost and show a separate total for each to the nearest 1p. Okay, what we're going to do then is we will pause the video, have a little look through, highlight what you think is the important bits towards our costing question, and then come back and we'll have a little look through it. So pause, see you in a second. Righto, so the important bits, let's have a look. So we are looking at route 11. As you'll see in the case study when we go through it, there are details there for two routes, route 11 and route 6. In the actual exam, you will already have done the driver's schedule question because that was question 1 and this was question 2. So you'll already have picked that up. Newly acquired articulated combination on this route. So it is an artic and it is new. So somewhere the information for that should be. Calculate the cost for route 11 for one day. So important that we remember that any standing costs that we are working out, we're going to use a one-day utilisation. You must show all your workings. If you do a calculation and you do it in your head, you're potentially not going to get a mark for it. So make sure that any calculation you do, you write down and you label. If it's a kilometre, you put kilometre. If it's a pound, you put pound. You must name each cost and show a separate total for each and to the nearest 1p. The thing with the nearest 1p is if you do a calculation on your calculator and it comes out to a proportion of a penny, don't panic, that's probably right. But you'll use that full proportion anyway when you go on to the next step. So name each cost and put a separate total for each. Right, let's have a little look at the case study. Background. Oxford Children Frozen plc, OCF, manufactures and sells substantial quantities of quick frozen ready meals using recipes from all over the world. Its customers include major supermarket chains and wholesale warehouse operations in the UK. The meals are manufactured at a number of the company's sites, each specialising in particular product areas. The meals are transported between OCF's sites for onward delivery to customers. OCF's refrigerated vehicle fleet includes 3,500 kilogram vans, 7,500 kilogram and 18,000 kilogram rigid lorries and 44,000 kilogram articulated combinations. The vehicles operate over a number of set routes designed to place products at OCF sites to enable delivery to customers. OCF holds restricted operator licences covering all sites except Boreham Wood. Its sites are described in the following table. Have a little look through that. Pause the video, have a look through, highlight what you think is going to be relevant for our costings question, and then unpause afterwards and we'll have a look and see what we think. Welcome back. Did you find anything? I didn't. Absolutely nothing there will affect our costings. So let's have a look at the next one. So this table tells us the operating centres, OCF sites, the traffic area that they are registered in, the number of authorised vehicles and the number of authorised trailers, and the current vehicle margin. So for example, Glasgow, 3 vehicles, and current vehicle margin means that they're only running 2, so they've still got 1 left. Again, have a look at that. Is any of that going to reflect on our costings? Pause, highlight, and then come back. Right, so again, nothing on there. There's no indication that we have to choose a vehicle or choose an operating site or anything like that, so none of that is of relevance to our costings question. Let's have a look at the next slide then. Route 11. Remember the question said about Route 11, didn't it? One of OCF's collection and delivery routes, Route 11, transports frozen foodstuffs from Stockport, Peterborough and Boreham Wood to Margate. It also delivers packaging and marketing materials from Oxford to its sites on the route before returning to Oxford at the end of the day. Route 11 operates every weekday, Monday to Friday inclusive, throughout the year. Details of delivery Route 11 are set out below. The refrigerated articulated combination assigned to this route works only on this route and is the only vehicle to do so. It has 2 seats in the cab, but no sleeping facilities. Oxford. Vehicle preloaded by warehouse staff. Driver or drivers to start shift at 8 o'clock in the evening, 2000 hours. Drivers, vehicle check required, 15 minutes. Stockport. Driver or drivers, vehicle check required, 15 minutes. Driver or drivers unload and load for 1 hour. Peterborough. Driver or drivers unload and load for 1 hour. This must start at 6 o'clock in the morning. Boreham Wood, 120 kilometres from Peterborough. Driver or drivers unload and load for 1 hour, must start at 9 o'clock in the morning. Margate, 180 kilometres from Boreham Wood. Driver or drivers unload for 30 minutes. Oxford, 270 kilometres from Margate. Driver or drivers to complete paperwork and debrief, 15 minutes. Vehicle unloaded by warehouse staff. Proposed vehicle replacements, transfers and additions. OCF's Logistics Director has proposed that the following vehicle changes be made in April 2020. Transfer permanently 1 rigid 18,000 kilogram lorry from Oxford to Boreham Wood. Transfer permanently 1 rigid 18,000 kilogram lorry from Oxford to Margate. Add 3 3,500 kilogram vans at Stockport. Transfer permanently 2 rigid 18,000 kilogram lorries from Stockport to Peterborough. Add 1 new tractor unit, purchase price £84,994 excluding tyres, and 1 new semi-trailer, purchase price £20,800 excluding tyres at Oxford. Okay, so there's the details on that slide. Again, pause it, have a little look through, highlight what you think is relevant to our costings, and then we'll have a look when you come back. So what did we find on this one? Let's have a little look. At the top, from Oxford to its sites on the route before returning to Oxford at the end of the day. Route 11 operates every weekday, Monday to Friday inclusive, throughout the year. That could be an indication on how many days a year the vehicle is used, the utilisation. It has 2 seats in the cab, but no sleeping facilities. 2 seats. Are we talking about double manned? When you look down at each selected destination, Boreham Wood gives us a mileage 120 kilometres from Peterborough. Margate gives us a mileage 180 kilometres from Boreham Wood. Oxford gives us a mileage of 270 kilometres from Margate. Now these two don't give us the mileage, Oxford to Stockport and Stockport to Peterborough. Now the good news is, as I said before, you've already done the driver schedule because that would have been question 1. And these 2 bits would have been answered when you did that driver schedule. Oxford to Stockport, the distance for that, maybe we can find elsewhere in the case study. We'll have a look. Stockport to Peterborough, maybe we've got to work that distance out from other information that's given, like the timing in a schedule. Again, we'll have a look at that in a minute. Anything in the proposed vehicle replacements? Yeah, at the bottom, purchase price, £84,994 excluding tyres, and semi-trailer purchase price, £20,800 excluding tyres. That's information that can be used in our depreciation, because every calculation, or 99.9% of the calculations, have got depreciation in it somewhere. Right, so that's the vital bits out of that one. Let's have a look at the next one. Delivery Route 6. OCF transports packaging materials which are delivered to the Stockport site every weekday, Monday to Friday inclusive, including any public holidays that fall on weekdays every week. Details of the single-man Delivery Route 6 are set out below. It uses a refrigerated 18,000 kilogram lorry. Stockport, driver vehicle check required 15 minutes, load for 15 minutes, will start by 2 o'clock in the morning. Oxford, 270 kilometres from Stockport, unload for 10 minutes, load for 15 minutes. OCF scheduling rules, driver and vehicle schedules for set routes must assume an average speed of 60 kilometres per hour. Driver break and rest periods may only be scheduled when they are legally required for the shortest possible time. All drivers assigned to a vehicle are required to assist with vehicle checks. They are also required to assist with all loading and unloading activities away from the Oxford site. All drivers have signed an opt-out from the working time limit for night workers. OCF operates a car shuttle service to relocate drivers as required. It also provides sleeping facilities for drivers at Oxford. The following drivers are available to work on Route 11 and or Route 6. 6 drivers at Oxford, 12 drivers at Stockport. Right, have a little look through that, pause, see what's relevant, highlight, and then we'll come back and we'll have a look. So, what have we found on here that's relevant for our costings? Not a lot. Oxford, 270 kilometres from Stockport. Although this is under Delivery Route 6, this is relevant because this was one of the missing mileages that we got on our first overview. So that's important because we need to be adding that in. As for all the others, all to do with driver schedules, nothing to do with costing a journey. Okay, so have a look at the next one then. Costing information. This grid gives us the cost item and the cost roll or amount and rate. So we've got the vehicle depreciation, semi-trailer depreciation, driver's wages, other standing costs, fuel price and consumption, cost of new tyre set, expected tyre life and maintenance costs with the values. Which of that, if any, is relevant for the costings? Pause, highlight, come back and we'll have a look. Right, so all of it, absolutely all of it. Vehicle depreciation, semi-trailer depreciation, they come in with costings equations. Other standing costs, that will, as will the fuel, tyres and maintenance, they're going to be running costs. So all of that is going to be information that we're going to use in our costings. Let's have a look at the next one then. Current issues, driver's complaint at the Oxford Operating Centre. The drivers based at OCF's Oxford Operating Centre have complained that the facilities and resources provided to them for completing daily vehicle checks are inadequate. Cash budget. OCF's Finance Director has submitted a draft budget for the calendar year 2020, including projected trading and profit and loss accounts, a balance sheet and a cash flow forecast. The profit and loss account predicts that 2020 will be a profitable year, and the balance sheet predicts that the company will be comfortably solvent by 31st of December 2020. The directors are satisfied that all sales and costs have been budgeted at reasonable levels, and they will not permit these forecasts to be changed. The draft cash flow forecast shows figures for each month in 2020. It predicts that the company's overdraft will exceed that agreed with the bank between February and May 2020 inclusive. The shortfall is projected to peak at £15,000. Any of that affect our costings? Pause, have a look, highlight. See you in a second. Welcome back. Like me, you've probably come with nothing out of that whatsoever. None of that is going to affect our costings. Let's have a look at the next one then. The table here, cash receipt and payment lines, cash flow forecast. Gives a list of the cash flow item and the payment terms for each item. I'm not going to read them out. Pause, have a quick look and highlight any of those that is going to affect our costings, costing a vehicle on the journey. Okay, so there are topics here that sort of fit in with costings: staff wages, fuel card, vehicle purchases, insurances, tax. But the information on here doesn't actually help. It doesn't give us any figures that we can use or any useful information that we can use. So there's nothing there that we're going to highlight. So extracting all the information that we have highlighted, we've put it nicely on the left hand side of the screen here. Let's just have a little look at what we've got. Route 11, the question asks us to calculate the costs for Route 11. From Oxford to its sites on route before returning to Oxford at the end of the day. So we've worked out now that our actual journey is going to be from Oxford back to Oxford. Monday to Friday inclusive throughout the year. This is where we get our depreciation utilisation from, isn't it? Monday to Friday, 5 days, 52 weeks of the year. 5 times 52 is 260 days. Tractor unit purchase price £84,994 excluding tyres. That's the figure we can use for the new vehicle for our depreciation. Same with the semi-trailer, purchase price £20,800 excluding tyres. 2 seats in the cab but no sleeping facilities. We said about that, didn't we, about does that indicate that it's a double man journey? Well, when you did the driving schedule, because you will have done the driving schedule before you do this in the exam, there are a couple of bits that we're going to have to assume now that you will already know, and that's one of them. The driving schedule actually was one driver from Oxford to Stockport and then 2 drivers from Stockport to all the way back round to Oxford. So you've got 3 drivers in the equation there. The individual mileages that we've got there: Borehamwood 120 from Peterborough, Margate 180 from Borehamwood, Oxford 270 from Margate, and then under the Route 6 we pinched the information, didn't we? Oxford 270 kilometres from Stockport. So our route that we already know is Oxford, Stockport, Peterborough, Borehamwood, Margate, back to Oxford. But we're still missing the kilometres between Stockport and Peterborough. Now this is more information that you will have picked up from doing the driver scheduling, and you will have worked out that the time taken from Stockport to Peterborough was 4 hours and the average speed was 60 kilometres per hour. So 4 hours at 60 kilometres per hour gives us 240 kilometres. So that can be added into there as well. So then we will have all the kilometres. Excuse me. Depreciation, semi-trailer depreciation, driver's wages, etc. All of that. Right, so let's have a little look at the costing. We're going to work logically. So we're going to add all up the individual kilometres, bearing in mind we're adding in that Stockport to Peterborough that's not listed here, and we come up with 1,080 kilometres. We're going to need those when we do the running costs in a minute. Let's start at the top of the grid and work down so that we don't miss anything. Standing costs. Depreciation of the tractor unit, so the vehicle depreciation. We know that the purchase price is £84,994, and it tells us that our depreciation is 20% per year. Now, this costing that we're doing is for a new journey based on the fact that we have just bought the vehicle and the trailer. So they are brand new. So we're talking about a year one depreciation. So just that 20% figure. So £84,994. Let's just get the calculator. 84,994 multiplied by 20% gives us £16,998.80. We're going to divide that figure by 260. 5 times 52 is 260. So let's divide that figure by 260 and it gives us £65.38. So that is the depreciation of the tractor unit for 1 day's utilisation. Next one down, semi-trailer. So depreciation of the trailer. Same calculation, £20,800 multiplied by 10% this time, not 20%. So 20,800 multiplied by 10% gives us 2,080. That's for the year, for the annual. Divide that by 260, the utilisation, gives us £8. Now, if you happen to have, in the exam, added the 84,994 and the 2,800 together and worked it that way, then providing the way you'd worked it came to the same calculation, then the mark was awarded. Very difficult with it being a 20% and a 10%. But if you had not specified the 65.38 and the 8 separately and added them together to get 73.38, you'd have got 2 marks for that, even though there was only one figure given. 3 drivers in the wages, as I said before, 1 from Oxford to Stockport and 2 from Stockport on the double man journey back to Oxford. £125 per day is £375. Other standing costs, figures given here in the grid, £17,511 per year. Divide that by 260, that again gives us £67.35. So that's our other standing costs. They've not asked us to total them up. If you do total them up individually, then fine, but in this instance, you won't get a mark for it. Running costs. Again, we'll take them in order, so as we don't forget anything. We've done standing costs. Fuel price, £1.17 per litre. Now, divide that by the fuel consumption, the 9 kilometres, gives us 13 pence per kilometre. Multiply that by the total distance of 1,080 kilometres, gives us £140.40. Tyres. Excuse me. Cost of new tyre set, complete, £2,400. We don't even have to work that out based on the number of tyres. Divide that by the expected tyre life, 60,000 kilometres, gives us 4 pence per kilometre. Multiply that by our total distance of 1,080, gives us £43.20 for our tyres. Maintenance, 25p per kilometre, given in the grid. Times that by 1,080 kilometres gives us £270 for our maintenance costs. Add all of them together. Again, if you wanted to add the running costs together to get a subtotal and then add the 2 subtotals together, that's absolutely fine, but no separate marks in this case was issued for that, but it is always good practice to do that. So your total cost for the journey would be £969.33. There you go, quite an easy calculation to work out, but in this case you must have completed the driver schedule to have got the mileage between Stockport and Peterborough. Okay, hopefully that was fairly straightforward for you. Hopefully that makes things a little bit clearer to understand. Any advice that you need, any help you need, by all means let us know. We're here to help. At the bottom of the course there are case studies which you can complete and send in. Please send them in for marking. Not only can we give you constructive feedback on the knowledge that you have learned, but also on exam technique as well. That certainly will help going forwards. Check out our other masterclass videos. We've got plenty that will help you to practice the vital areas of the exam. Thanks very much. Best of luck. See you again.